Hi there, folks. Welcome to Fey Earth. My name is Neil. I am the writer, designer, creator, the whatever you want to call it, of Fey Earth. This wonderfully fun indie TTRPG set in an alternate 19th century Earth where all the creatures from folklore and fairy tale are real, have always been real, and lived alongside society. We are set in France in the year 1872. It is a France that is very different to the France of our own historical 1872. One major difference being that in this world, the Franco-Prussian War, instead of being a war between Napoleon III's France, I believe, and Otto von Bismarck's Prussia, was instead an alliance with the French and the Prussians against the Fey nation of Arcadia that's nestled between those two countries. It was a brutal and bloody war that lasted about 6 or 7 months and ended in a devastating attack by the Fey on the combined French and Prussian forces. Thousands, tens of thousands of soldiers being killed in one day of attacks. Some saying that the Fey used ancient magics long forgotten, while others have said that the Fey actually reawoken and summoned the dragons. Though a lot of people have difficulty believing this because sure, no one's seen a dragon in Europe in nearly 500 years. So before we get started, we haven't actually done this in a while. I'm going to ask our players to introduce themselves and their characters. And we will start with Mina. Christina.
Oh, okay. My name is Christina. I play Mina. Mina is a fighter, a giant fighter, part of the Swiss Guard, who in this reality are giant fighters rather than pikemen to be hired out. They're giant fighters to be hired out. So, yeah.
Okay, Susie.
Hi, I'm Susie. I play Sylvia Bauer. She is a human druid from Berlin, and she had formerly of the Prussian army. So.
And finally, the wonderful Neve, who is showing us all up tonight.
Yeah, big time. Oh my God.
Hi, folks. My name is Neve. I play Gwyn Elvendale. She is a human witch from Cornwall with a particular love for fire and pretty ladies.
All right. So, thank you for your introduction. Now, would one of you like to give us a recap of our last session?
Do it, Christina. Do it.
You're the one who's going to need the inspiration die.
Yes.
I'm the one who's going to need the inspiration die, probably. Yes. We made it to, what's his name?
Cambrai.
Cambrai, thank you. Why can't I remember the stupid town anyway? And we found Mina's brother, who has been badly injured, who has been in the military hospital there, who has lost an arm, but most significantly seemed to have also lost his mind. He has been talking to her, which the doctors found amazing, but he hasn't actually recognized her, and he hasn't been interacting with anyone really at all. And that was the only time when she first met him in an evening going there that he actually talked to her. And yeah, Mina's not very happy about the whole thing.
Okay, so brief but to the point, because not a lot had happened beyond that, finding your brother and finding that he is horrifically injured physically and mentally. But you do get 1d8 inspiration die that you can use once in the game for any ability test. So, when last we had left the heroes, the party was all returning back to the hotel that you're staying in, with the exception of Mina, who had just gone to the post office. I believe you did have some letters pre-written and you were posting them off. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was saying I just posted an arcanogram in a telegraph style to my brothers, just saying to my twin brothers, just saying, oh, I found Alois, and just briefly explaining what the situation was without going into too much detail. Just keep it very brief.
Yep. Okay. And then you had asked for the location of basically a dive
Some
bar.
seedy bar,
Yeah,
some
a
dive
bar.
bar or
Yeah.
something like, yeah.
So yeah. So right. Yeah, you were given those directions. And
I'm so afraid for poor Mina. She's off in the world on her own now.
I fought an ogre. I think I can look after myself.
well, so you
Worried about everybody else.
Yep.
you head off in the direction that you were given
Yeah.
for the bar, okay? And
Yeah.
you're walking for about 10 15 minutes. Like, it's not a huge city, you know.
Yeah.
So you do you make your way, and yeah, it's not a great place. It's pretty crappy. You go in. There's like about 4 or 5
I just want to
guys.
say I'm wearing some like pants, some kind of walking pants or something. The boots I usually wear for combat, and just a shirt and waistcoat kind of a thing. Just very simple. So no
Yeah.
dress, no
No,
uniform,
I
no
think
nothing. I have
you had
Albert
said
at
that.
home. I'm
Yeah.
not walking around with Albert, so like.
Yeah, no, you had said all that you Albert was at home, and that you were like not in your normal clothes. So yeah, that's cool. So yeah, as I said, it's not a particularly nice bar. There's about 4 or 5 guys there. You know, there's
What time is it now?
it's probably about like maybe 4:30, I think.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, so it's probably about 4:30. Maybe a little bit later.
So who's there? Like, are these like old guys, or are these like couple of younger guys? How are they like?
There's
How are they
there's
looking?
about 3 or 4 guys. They all look to be like between maybe 40 to early 40s to like late 50s kind of thing. So yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go up to the bar and order some schnapps or something like, yeah.
You go up to the bar. There's like a couple of bottles of what looks like really, really cheap, probably awful whiskey. That
Perfect.
may or may not have been like distilled in an old rusty bathtub. There is a faint but ever-present smell of urine in this horrible little dive bar.
Perfect.
And there looks to be a couple of bottles of wine as well. But even in the dim light of here, because you are Fate Touch, so you have excellent vision in dark light, you can make out the like several centimeters of sediment at the bottom of the bottles of wine. So when you go to the bar, and there's this one guy, he's like, kind of looks to be in his kind of like, you know, later 50s. He's got graying hair, a big cataract over one eye, and he still kind of winces as if he's trying to strain through it. Okay, spotted beard, like as if there's patches of facial hair growth on his face. This terrible blotchy complexion, the likes of which you would normally associate with somebody who is drinking a lot or maybe engaging in other vices. And as you go up to the top of the bar and ask for some schnapps, he squints at you.
Or your other cheap whiskey that you have, it doesn't really matter as long as it's strong.
Gives you an up and down. And the other like 4 patrons are also looking at you, because you reckon this.
I'd stand out, I know.
You're a woman. That alone is making you stand out. Okay? You know, this is a place that women would never go into, all right? And he reaches up for the whiskey, and he reaches for a glass, and he's kind of peering at it through his good eye to see is it roughly clean. You think it probably is. and then he pouring it out,
Well, the alcohol will take care
hands
of
it
that.
to
It's
you.
fine.
Yeah, and yeah, so. So yeah, it's pretty rank whiskey now.
Yeah, I just flush it down, and they're like, "Come on, you know what? Whenever you see it is empty, fill it up." And I give him a gold coin.
Okay, his eyes kind of go bright when he sees that, and you see the other guys noticing the flash of gold. You know, so he quickly pours you a fresh glass, and
Without looking at the guys behind me, I just kind of say quite loudly, "I also have a dagger in my boot, so do not think. Don't even think about it." I slush it back down.
yeah, yeah. You like, if you want, you can give me like an awareness roll, just to get a kind of an empathy vibe of what these guys are like.
14.
Yeah, you're not entirely sure, but you're like you know enough to be like keeping your wits about you. You're like,
Yeah.
you know, if anything, you feel like these guys are thrown by your presence, because on the one hand, you're a woman. These guys are, you know, clearly not high society, but not necessarily thugs at the same time, if you know what I mean. They're not automatically going to attack somebody, but they don't know what to take of you, because a woman who's just voluntarily come into here is flashed some gold, but doesn't seem in any way concerned or worried about their safety. You know, it's like, you know, so that's throwing them. With that roll, that's throwing them. You don't get much more from it than that, okay? So anyway, yeah. So yeah, he, as I say, he keeps like that gold is probably going to be enough to basically pay for the entire bottle of whiskey, you know,
Fantastic.
easily, and maybe a bit more.
I'll like leave it here then. And then I say, so when is this place gonna liven up?
Maybe another hour or so. We get a few more regulars in.
Fine. I just stare at the bar. Just, you know, slowly make my way through the bottle. Waiting for the place to fill up.
Yeah, so over the next hour or so, it slowly starts, more and more people kind of filter in, you know? Yeah, a few more guys. It's a mix. Most, like, it looks to be kind of like general guys, most of them dressed as laborers. Yeah, so most of them seem to be dressed as kind of as laborers, like clearly guys who are not making a lot of money, you know, they're quite poor, and yet again, every time someone walks in, there's like, they give you a second look, because what the fuck's a woman doing in here? And a woman who's like, you know, you're not in like high society gown or anything, but your clothes are still much nicer than anything any of these guys are wearing, you know.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking, and I'm keeping an eye out for somebody who is kind of well built, but also seems cocky.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So yeah, after a while, you've seen a couple more guys, and you do see one guy. He kind of walks in and looks at me. He's kind of like, it's kind of hard to know, because most of these guys look like they've lived pretty tough lives. So he might be in his late 30s. He might be in his early to mid 40s. Average height, kind of greasy black hair, scarred knuckles, kind of a short, thick beard with streaks of auburn. But he's kind of like, he's average height, but he looks kind of fairly strong, you know. Like he's not massively built, but looks pretty strong. Like he's clearly somebody who does physical labor all the time, you know. And you see him as like, okay, right. And he kind of does eye you a bit. He has these kind of like watery kind of like blue eyes. Yet again, a lot of these guys look like they drink way too much, you know, and you see that in.
Does he come up to the bar at all? Like,
oh yeah, he comes up and he orders himself a drink, and
cool.
The barman goes, "Here you go, Louis. It's just a beer." Everybody here is drinking beer. Another reason that you're standing out is that you're onto spirits.
I'm onto spirits, right?
Know?
So Louis has like the Bruce Knuckles, you say, like, right?
Yeah.
So I go up to him and I say, like, so is there anywhere where one can have a good fight in the area?
And he kind of looks very suspicious. What kind of fight? I don't know what you like. I'm not looking for any trouble here now.
Well, looking at your hands, like, looks like you're a bare knuckle fighter.
I know how to take care of myself in a fight.
Well, so do I. And I have some, you know, I just want to have some fun.
And he's looking kind of at the barman. He's looking
afraid to lose to a little girl, are you?
And as soon as you say that, his back gets up, and he's like, straight away, he's like, you've riled him up. This guy clearly has like massive insecurity problems and a massive ego. You know, the toxic masculinity is like coming off this guy in waves.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Oh yeah, easy to rile up.
Yeah. And he's like, Robert, let us use the back room. And the barman, who you assume is Robert's like, Louis, I don't want any trouble. And he's like, this one just said that she wants to have a fight. You'll get a cut of the takes. And he turns to you. He's like, I'm not going to beat up some girl just for the fun of it. I want to make it actually worth my while. So,
right.
How much we saying?
Yeah, how much you usually get for these kind of things? How much is the steak usually?
10 silver.
I slam a gold onto the bar.
Like, just into context for our viewers and our podcast listeners, 10 silver would be roughly around the wage of a factory worker or maybe a laborer. So like he's basically betting a week's wage, and it's the standard 10-10-10 denomination of copper, silver, gold in this setting. So he sees the gold and he kind of fumbles around and he puts out 10 silver on the bar, and the barman just sweeps up the coins and he goes, okay lads, looks like we're gonna have some fun with our newcomer here. We're going into the back room. We're taking our bets. Click my
wrist and click my knuckles and go to the back room. So people taking bets, I suppose.
As you go and you see now people are starting to take bets with the barman.
How tall is he? How much taller than me is he?
So you're very short, remember?
Yeah.
So this guy, as I said, he's average height. So where the bloody hell? Sorry, folks.
You yourself are not average height.
So he's about maybe 170, like
right,
maybe about like 5'6", 5'7", in imperial units. So about that, so he's a bit taller than you because you're only about 160, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like quite small. Um. So yeah, people start taking bets, and he's kind of lumbering around, loosening them up. A couple of jabs in the air, and it's like, okay, this guy's definitely been in a couple of fights.
Yeah.
You know. Um. So
I'm just unbuttoning the waistcoat, take it off, hang it over a chair or something, just to give myself a bit more movement, you
yeah,
know.
of course, yeah. So you do that, and you get around, and now. So this back room looks like it's a storage room, but
Yeah.
you do spot some blood on the floor. So they've probably done this
Nice.
before a couple of times.
Yep.
You know, we're not saying that it's a bare knuckle,
Ring.
ring, but
Yeah.
So but it is it's and there's like some boxes of storage and stuff that have been pushed to the sides to make room for you. So it's like about maybe 3.5 by 3.5 meter ish space that you have.
Cool.
And then he's like, okay, right, folks, we're gonna have ourselves an interesting one tonight, I think. You all know Louis Garol, a fan favorite, if you will, and we have our challenger for the evening, Mademoiselle.
It'll do.
Mademoiselle.
My nerves are not well with this.
Mina.
No.
Mina,
no.
My heart. Actually,
I need to get out some dice.
I happen to have
my...
pugilism on my it's
like...
one
I
of my
believe
skills.
it. I believe it. I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about this poor bastard you're about to completely fuck up.
Well, let's see. I'm gonna give him a.
He'll be all right. You'll be all right. We'll be all right.
Right. So just give me 1 second. I did not load up this spreadsheet, but anyway.
If he starts to circle, I'm gonna kind of keep loosely on
exactly what happens. He starts
on
to
my
circle.
legs and start circling him, just kind of assessing the guy, going like, "Come on,
yeah,
go on then."
And he's
I'm in your corner,
he's coming
Mina.
around.
Don't telegraph.
You know.
Jimmy Fred.
I'm gonna say 20. All right. So no, actually it's a lot. Right. Right. So yeah. You're coming in a bit, and he's waiting. He's kind of waiting for you, and then as you come in a bit closer, he just launches out a quick jab as soon as you come within his range. Oh my god! You're not going to believe this.
20, not 20.
I just rolled a nat 20.
Oh, nice, cool. Yeah, that's okay. Hang on, I need to put.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Okay, that's.
Okay. So, I just need to pull up the critical injury table. Just give me 1 moment, folks. Sorry. All right, and Okay, so Mina. I'm gonna say +2. 9 points of damage you suffer. Never, you're not wearing any armor right now, so that's just a straight 9. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Do you have Albert with you?
No. She's not going to be carrying a halberd around the city. No, she has a dagger on her. So roll the d10 for me, please.
God damn it. Where is the fucking D10 again? So, Oh, 10.
Oh, you serious?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay, roll a d10 again. That's a major critical injury.
4.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
With his first punch, he shocks you with a sucker punch, and you trip and fall, and you hear a snapping sound as you break a bone in your dominant leg. Okay.
I can't fix that. I can't fix it.
Why did you have to make it so quick and so boring?
I rolled a nat 20. The fight is, trust me, not even close to over yet. So,
I hope not.
So, you will now suffer a -2 penalty to your dex and your defense. And
Okay.
if you want to move, you need to give me a fortitude, stamina, or resolve willpower. However, you could, like, as you stumble up and you're kind of limbering on one leg, can you just say that you wait for him to come to you and then you're going to strike and not actually move? But you're...
Is it fortitude, hardiness, or stamina? Ah, I can do
stamina.
Yeah.
Or
That's
resolve
+3
willpower.
then.
That's if you want to move, but you could just be waiting for him to come in. But everybody heard this snap and they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I'll just wait for him to come
Okay,
in.
so you
and
wait.
then
You wait for him to come in.
So hang on, my usual attack modifier would be 6 if I have.
No, this doesn't affect your attack modifier, it affects your defense.
Okay, by how much did you say? By 3, is it?
2. So your
2.
defense is dropped by 2.
Okay.
And your movement, if you do move, it's your movement is halved.
Okay.
Okay. So, oh god. Right. So he comes back in at you, waiting to land another punch, feeling extremely confident, having just this. And it wasn't even that he hit you hard; it was a lucky jab, and then you fell badly. You stumbled back, probably because you've been drinking whiskey for the last hour.
That's true.
As that, give me an awareness roll, will you?
Not 20.
You, as everybody gasps, you hear the sound of a meowing of a cat, and you spot actually, just off to the side, kind of hiding in the corners, a jet black cat with these beautiful amber eyes. Okay, but anyway. So you've stumbled up and you're waiting, and as he comes in at you, you get to immediately act because your prepared action was when he comes into range to attack, you strike. So roll to attack. So remember, your attack modifier is as normal for you.
With your 30-20.
Okay, so yeah, that's a definite hit, and you actually you hurt hard with your punches. 1d8 plus 3.
Yep.
Oh, crap! I just realized I never put the captions on.
And I rolled an 8 plus 3.
As 11.
11.
So just give me 1 second here, folks. Sorry. I just realized I never added captions. And I'm very sorry. I'm doing that now. I very much apologize.
It's like say my ankle is broken or something. So when I stand up, I'll just kind of go clack.
So, 11 points of damage.
Stand up and punch him like
So
right
it's not
in
your
the fucking
femur.
face.
That's you strike him and everybody's like, holy shit. Like, that's actually a massive punch. And it was like, ooh, shit. And you see a flurry of money now exchanging. But he is...
I believe I have level 6, I have a second attack.
I was going to say, you actually get a second attack. So, roll again.
That's a 13 plus 6 is... what's that? Sorry, my brain is 19, gone. 19.
That definitely hits. This guy's defense is not that high. Okay? Yep. So roll for damage again.
This time it's a 7 plus 3, so it's 10.
So the second punch straight across, came across the jaw, and there is a crack this time from him as you think you might have broken his jaw or certainly loosened some teeth as he just spins and twists and drops to the ground completely unconscious. And there is actually a cacophony of cheers as they're like, the Mademoiselle is victorious! Yay! And a bunch of guys come up to you to like clap you on the back and like, you know, shake you, congratulations, and you're like in extreme agony. You suspect you have a broken femur.
Yeah.
So just to put that into context, as I said, when you want to move, You must first succeed a Fortitude, Stamina, or Resolve Willpower versus a target number of 17 at the start of your turn. If you succeed, you move at half your normal movement, and if you fail, you can't move. This condition only ends after you have received professional medical assistance and allowed the bone to heal properly for 12 weeks, because that is how long a lower limb break takes. 12 weeks. Or receive healing from the regeneration spell.
Now, I have the first day. Can I just kind of put a bandage,
You will need
put it around something like.
Some of the guys, when the guys see you, they offer to help you make a crude splint.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'll do.
You will need to see a doctor about this.
Yeah.
And get it properly splinted tomorrow. So yeah. Okay, and I'm just going to add this to the calendar. Mina breaks femur. So yeah, 12 weeks of recovery. Or if you manage to find a high-level healer, or there are certain magical items that can also cure these kind of major critical injuries. But yeah. So you are helped back in, and you're actually sat down at one of the few stools that's in this place, and some guys.
Yeah, I'm not done yet. I'm not done.
Well, okay. Well, what else do you want to do? Because you actually.
Because I'm saying, like, before they carry me on, I'm like, no. Does anyone else? Come on. 2 gold. And I put 2 gold on the floor, and I'm like, come on.
The guys are like, no. Like, no one's interested for 2 reasons. 1, you have a broken femur. 2, you knocked a guy out with 2 punches with a broken femur. So no one is willing to take you up on that. Absolutely not. The guy's like, save your gold. You can buy us drinks. Come on, you little lady. And they help you hobble back into the main bar, okay? And they plonk you down on a stool. And a moment later, a guy comes up to you. This guy is much younger than the guy you just mercilessly pummeled. Quite tall, kind of tanned face of clearly someone who works outdoors a lot. And yet again, he's got kind of dark hair, a short trimmed beard and brown eyes, and he'd probably be a good looking guy, but he has that kind of ruddy, kind of almost blotchy complexion of somebody who like just drinks too much, you know? As he hands you a beer, he's wearing simple workman's clothes, and he's like, here you go, mademoiselle, congratulations, and he hands you a beer, if you want to take it. It's watered down. It's probably had been salted as well, so that they'll drink more of it. It tastes, and yours, it tastes like.
I drink it, but I'm gonna go back to my whiskey as I'm not satisfied at all.
Yes. Yeah. So the barman comes down to you after. He's like, "Well, you definitely deserve this," and he plumps down a bottle of whiskey. He's like, I made a lot of money from that fight. No one expected a tiny little thing like you to beat that idiot. He's actually generally a lot better at fights than you made him out to be. Okay? So the whiskey's there. And this guy, the guy who got you the beer, he was like, I've got to say, mademoiselle, it's pretty shocking. You don't see people like you in here very often. My name is Jules, by the way. And what's your name?
My name's Mina.
Oh, it's nice to meet you. It's an interesting accent you have. You're clearly not from around here.
No, I'm not.
And why would a pretty little thing like you be in a place like this? You can see he's clearly trying to like charm you.
I just wanted to fight, that's really all, and nobody will fight me anymore, so I'm not really happy about that, to be honest. I wanted more fights.
I mean, in fairness, my dear, like, you're gonna have to see a doctor about that. I've seen men take injuries like that, and they're often, if an injury like that isn't allowed to heal properly, you could be lamed by it, and I'll be blunt. The fact that you took him out with 2 punches after that leg break, no one wanted to fight you. But, I mean, if you have a lot of energy, you're looking to work up, I mean, I'm sure we could find another way to help you there.
I have a broken leg, okay? So, no.
can burn up a lot of energy lying down.
Again, I have a broken leg and I just punch him in the nose.
Okay, roll to attack.
I rolled a 7 plus 6 is 13.
Okay, yeah, you clock him slightly. Are you using full force here?
No.
Okay, well, say you do like 3 points of damage, you know?
Yeah.
And okay, and he takes the message and he backs off. And like a couple of other guys try similar stuff. They're like, you're the only woman in here. You're probably the only woman who's been here that wasn't paid to come in here in months. You know, and no shame, sex work is work, but I'm just saying, you know, you're like, it's a woman, it's a female, and they are interested in the female.
I just picture Quark right now.
Yes. So, so a couple of more guys try to hit on you, but they're keeping their distance because they've seen you now punch 2 guys in here, and you continue drinking. You do spot that cat seems to have been kind of like hanging around in the shadows, kind of keeping away from people, not letting 1 or 2 guys getting close to it, and it hisses and scratches a bit, and they try to kick it, but it's a cat, so it's fast. But yeah, you're kind of it's weird. Like a couple of guys do try to strike up conversation with you as well, but they're not conversationalists either. So, you know, they're trying to ask you what your business is and what you'd be doing in the pretext of trying to talk to you, but they're not doing a very good job of it.
No, and because I can't fight, I'm just getting drunk.
Yes. Well, I am sorry. I wasn't expecting to roll a nat 20 and have you roll a major critical injury. That's just ridiculous. So
yeah, it is. It really is.
You know, we live by the dice, we die by the dice. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, not happy. And Mina is not happy, and Mina is not satisfied, you know, at all. She wanted to go out and just work out her fucking frustrations, and this is not happening.
One guy does come up to you at one point and offer to arm wrestle you if you would like. Because like you've been saying to guys you want to fight, but no one wants to fight you. And he offers to give you an arm wrestle.
I want blood.
Oh, okay, well, they're not interested in like, cause you know, as we say, like it wasn't just that you're.
I just drink myself to a stupor and then.
Okay, so you drink yourself to a near stupor until you are having trouble staying upright in the chair. Now you're not a heavy drinker, and you are drinking neat whiskey. So it doesn't take a lot. Pretty much by the time you finish the bottle, you're in this condition. So you're probably only there drinking for about another hour or so after the fight. So it's not even that crazy late at this stage. Like, I think, what time did I say you got into the inn for about, that pub was like about 5:30 or something, I think I said?
4:30.
4:30, yeah, sorry, 4:30.
Yeah.
So it's probably only like 6:30, maybe 7 at this stage. But you are having...
That is ridiculous. Suppose I just go to a hospital or something.
You are... Well, there's no hospitals open at this time of the night. You know, it's the 19th century. So the only place really left to go is back to the hotel.
Then I go back to the hotel.
Okay, so... I'm not going to like have you constantly do this. I'm going to ask you to give me three rolls. What? I'm looking at your stats here. Actually, yeah, your resolve and your fortitude are equal, but you do have the +1 stamina. So
I do. So
give me 3 rolls with a +3 to each roll.
I rolled a 14, so that is a 17. I rolled a 16, so that is a, what was it, +3, 19, and I rolled an 11, that is a 14.
So 2 passes and a fail. It's not terrible. It's extremely painful. And as you're walking along, you are struggling, Um, you know, you're trying to hobble your way, but it's very slow moving.
I know that's silly because I have money. I'll just get a cab.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You hobble out until you get to where you could get a cab because you're in a really shady part of the city. So you're hobbling for about 10, 15 minutes until you get to a slightly nicer place, and then you hail down a cab. Okay. You hail down a cab, and they get you. They get you to the hotel pretty quickly. The driver of the hotel sees that you are clearly hurt, injured, and he's like, "Madame Marcel, are you sure you weren't just?
It's fine. Don't worry.
Okay, and he helps you. Like you're drunk, which is very unusual for a young woman, and you are clearly injured. He helps you into the hotel lobby. A lobby is generous. This is more of it's a small kind of like guest house, you know, and the guest house owner. Madame Levet, she sees you. She's like, "Monsieur, what happened to you, my dear? Are you okay?" And she's coming up to you, being like lots of fuss. And she's like, as soon as you get close, she smells the drink off.
It's fine.
I'm
fine. Don't worry.
We'll help you up to your room.
No, I'm fine. Okay, I'm fine.
Question, Neil: how big is the guest house? Like, would Gwyn and Sylvia conceivably hear this?
No, you're not going to hear this.
Okay.
Though. Actually,
we'd probably be in the common area. If there's a bar, we'd probably be there.
It's more like a dining area. It's not a bar, but
we'd probably be having dinner though.
Roll me a d20.
Oh, all right. Let's have a look. I rolled a 19.
So this is the thing. You actually came down to have some dinner a little while ago. Aminata came down with you. No sign of Gwyn. And when you went and checked in a room, she wasn't there. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so no sign of Gwyn.
Okay.
But
Gwyn probably went back for that nurse.
You don't know. But you do, I'm going to say with that roll, you do actually think you hear the sound of Mina's voice in the front lobby area.
Okay. I'm going to say to Aminata, you know, I am just going to see. I think that I hear her. She has been gone a while. So, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to go.
So you see the hotelier, Madame Levet, trying to help Mina. Mina's like, not pushing her away, but like, was like, no, I don't want any of your help. She is swaying. She looks like she's completely hammered. And she clearly has some sort of an injury to one of her legs.
Mina, what happened? Were you attacked?
No, nothing like that. It just.
What happened to your leg?
It's fine. Nothing.
I can't fix this. I can see. Let me have a look. I will see if I can.
No, it's fine.
Do something for this, but I cannot. This is broken. What happened?
Just leave me be, okay? Just leave me be.
Well, I will help you
I'll
upstairs.
start to stumble up the stairs.
Okay. You do see Gwyn has just appeared at the front of the lobby area as well.
I'm gonna shoot Gwyn a look and go, "You need to help me here."
What's going on?
Lesser telepathy cantrip.
Okay, so lesser telepathy cantrip. What's going on?
Broken leg, clearly drunk, very angry.
Oh, Mina. Okay. So, I can't fix this with my magic.
No, this is beyond both of your healing abilities. But they do help you up to your room.
I can heal the 11 points.
Yeah, you do need some help.
Leave it be, okay? Just leave it be.
You do need help to get up the stairs to your room, okay?
Yeah, we'll help her as much as we can.
Up to the room, sit there on the bed, and I'd say at that stage, Mina's probably get very fussed. So you guys.
Okay, well, she's passed out now. I'm gonna try and as non-invasively as I can get a look at her leg.
Do you, would you reckon Mina would have passed out when she hits the bed? She isn't.
Me? Yeah. No, not really.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Well,
Sylvia.
I think she's hardier than that.
Yeah. Well, you are incredibly drunk, but you're also in a lot of pain. So, you know, there is
that's
that,
gonna,
you know,
yeah.
I'm not trying to be like nitpicky or anything, or
No, and it was literally like, if she passes out, I will try and get a look at her leg, but if she's not, I won't. That's kind of all I was saying.
And you can help her take her shoes off, because she would definitely need help with that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try and
we'll help her take her shoes off,
gently as I can.
pull a blanket up over, bring up some water.
They're fussing over you, Mina. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm like, stop fussing over me. Stop fussing over me.
Oh,
Okay?
stop. We're just going to get you
fussing me
some
over.
butter and put a blanket, and maybe we should see a doctor in the morning.
So
Yeah.
So eventually, you fuss over Mina as much as she will let you, which is not a lot. And then,
No, well, Sylvia also doesn't want to, because she knows what's going on as well, so she just kind of wants to leave her to it.
yeah. So and you very much recognize this, because if you were in a similar state to Mina, you would be not wanting anyone to fuss over you at all.
I wouldn't want anybody fucking.
You'd be like,
So
leave me alone.
So Sylvia is literally like, as quickly as she can get, and without, you know, as gently as she can, because I'm not just rushing to hurt you, but like, shoes off, grab water, and just fucking leave you to sleep it off, because like no, Sylvia knows.
Yeah, for sure. And Gwen will grab Sylvia outside the room, I suppose, and when Mina's comfortable, and just suggest that we try and find a doctor for her tomorrow.
We will have to, as that leg is clearly broken. And I cannot heal it.
I can't heal it. What if it does more damage? We'll have to find a doctor tomorrow.
The bone will need to be set. I did not get a good enough look. I do not know if the bone is poking through her leg. If that is the case, then there is a serious risk of infection. She could be lame her entire life. She's lucky she didn't die, because I have seen men and women break their legs, and
she'll be lucky if she doesn't lose the leg even by tomorrow morning, honestly.
I know. So if we need to I can't. I don't have herbs that can help this infection. My skills are all in treating wounds. That's what I was trained in.
Well, mine are more about inflicting wounds, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. But you know, we are near a hospital, so
you go back down to have dinner with Aminata.
Yeah.
So
and we'll just update her.
And she's like, she looks actually really bad. She's like, oh God, I have some terrible news. As you know, I sent a message back home about maybe getting a healer or a doctor to come.
Oh yeah, this is good. Maybe the healer could help.
Except that no, because they got back to me. Apparently, there's been an outbreak of malaria in some villages just south of Timbuktu, which is one of the great
what's
cities.
that?
Timbuktu. It's one of the great cities.
No, the malaria. Sylvia wouldn't have a clue.
It's a disease that's transmitted by mosquitoes. It's in the young, the elderly, and the sick and weak, it can be fatal.
What's a mosquito? Next question. In character.
Sylvia, you've probably heard of mosquito.
Sylvia was
neither of you are from France. In the south of France, they did have mosquitoes in this time. It's
like midges in Cornwall. Yes, we have similar.
But these are bigger, I think, than the midges. But
they're fine,
and they're much more. They feed off your blood. But anyway,
that's disgusting.
Unfortunately, they cannot come to help, and I have gotten a message that I must depart myself. I will try to get back to Paris for the family, and if not, I promise I will be at Sheffield before the full moon. I'm so very sorry. I didn't want to just leave and no messages.
I know.
No, it's safe travels. Just mind yourself out there.
But I just wish I could help.
Come back. I know. Look, I'm in that. We all have obligations of sorts. If you can find, I don't know if you have access to anything, if you know anything that could help. We will take Mina to the hospital tomorrow, and maybe, hopefully, So Sylvia is just like, you can tell she's kind of panicking a bit, because she's like, I have no idea what to do. And anytime anybody, like most of the time people have broken the legs, they've either like died, lost the leg, got a horrible infection, and not been able to walk at all after.
Gwen is fully thinking Mina's gonna like lose her lower leg at this point. No.
Yeah. So
Edwardian medicine, like.
yeah, Victorian medicine wasn't that great, you know.
And regeneration is 4th level spell. I have 2nd level right now.
Yeah,
just for our viewers, where we're at right now, we're level 6.
It's gonna be a couple more levels before you get the regeneration spell. So yeah. I tell you what, can both of you please give me
This is what we can do to help this
intellect rolls?
Oh no.
And you can add arcane lore, which I know Gwyn has. I don't think Sylvia has.
I don't.
I got a 22.
Okay.
Rolled an 18, added my modifier as 22.
Okay. Sylvia.
Okay. Well, I got a 14. So
yeah. Okay. Right.
Never mind.
I will tell you, with that great roll, Gwyn, you do know that there is a type of, it's kind of like a healing tincture, and they're called a heal all. They are a bit rare. They're very expensive to purchase one off an artificer. It costs you about 50 gold.
Okay.
But if you drink one, if you take a dose of a heal all, that what they do is they greatly accelerate the natural healing process. So something like this, something that would take 12 weeks to heal, will be fully healed out after 8 hours of rest. So
by an artificer, you say?
So this is the thing. If you got something like this and Mina were to drink it, and then sleep, the next morning her leg would be fully healed.
Okay.
Do you think Madame Gautier would have something like this?
I am nearly certain she would. She seemed most accomplished. Maybe. She is back in Paris, though.
Well, you were planning.
If we are going to Paris anyway for this work, so I think what we had agreed would be. Just please remind me. So if we were going to visit Mina's brother, I would perhaps heal him a little more, the little that I can do. And after that, we would then go to travel to Paris and accept this job. So maybe if she has something, or she could make something, she may know someone who has this, and we could together, I think, if it is expensive, I think that we should just pool our money and try to buy it for Mina.
I agree.
We could spike her food or something. I think between the two of us, we could probably overpower her and force her to drink it.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a spell that would pin her in place using the earth. So I think she won't be able to escape its broken leg. So if we need to, we will force her to drink this.
So,
Sylvia, I was doing it for your own fucking good.
So
caring doctor.
You do all head to bed. You have a long night's rest. The next morning you get up, and I assume Mina wanted to see her brother before you jumped on the train back to Paris. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sylvia's gonna just very gently knock on the door. She's gonna have water. Yeah. She's gonna have. Would it be possible for me to bring food up to Mina?
Absolutely, because Madame Levay saw how badly
okay.
So just very, very, very important. Mina, give me fortitude. Give me a fortitude. You don't have resistance, which is the talent against poisons. So just a straightforward fortitude roll. We are going to see how hungover you are.
19.
That was the target number.
So not too bad.
So you are hungover, but you don't have the fear. You're not dying.
It's not like anxiety territory.
No. You don't. You're not absolutely dying. Nothing that a breakfast roll wouldn't fix.
Yeah. So Sylvia is gonna kind of, she would know that fried food high in salt will help. Yes. So she's going to come up with a big dirty fry up for you.
You're knocking the door and Sylvia walks in with a tray with a big dirty fry, some sausages, some rashers,
some coffee,
and
some water.
There's some toast, and there's 2 fried eggs and a pot of coffee for you.
Great.
Yeah, you are feeling a bit ropey, but I'd say a part of you is thinking my brothers would be so proud of me. I finished off that bottle of whiskey and I'm grand today. You know?
Sylvia's just going to give me a look her up and down. It's like, eat it and they'll go to the hospital. And she's going to just walk back out again.
Yeah.
Because she knows Mina needs space. She's not going to fucking make music.
So you guys, you have your breakfast and you get up. Mina, I have a serious question. Do you bring Albert to use as a crutch? I was thinking that, yes. So
I'll go on the other
down,
side.
leaning on Albert as a crutch, because he is
I'll
far too
go
high to,
on the
to
other
tuck under the arm. But
I'll go on the other side and just sort of make sure she doesn't fall.
Yeah, so you obviously don't walk to the hospital. You get a cab and you get there and you're hobbling in and the nurse sees you and she's like, "Man, Jill, what happened to you?"
Oh, I stumbled and fell.
You fell. It looks like you fell off the top of a spire.
Well, it wasn't quite that high, but I fell.
Can I ask if the nurse has any all heal? We're willing to pay gold.
Heal all.
Heal all, yes, that one.
No, sorry.
It's a potion that can heal.
We do not have any magics in this hospital. We just
okay.
No. Sorry. The most magical thing we've had is was you ladies coming in with your berries and things and porridges and stuff. So
I can once again use my magic to make the food more nourishing.
Yeah. Well, before we so Mademoiselle, how about we go up to see your brother? Your friend can bless his porridge. We'll feed him and give him some more energy and rejuvenation. And then Dr. Fernier will have to have a look at that leg. That looks like a serious break.
Yes. Please. If we are traveling to Paris, if you could patch it up in the meantime, that would be excellent and reduce infection as much as possible.
Okay, so you are brought up. They bring it to porridge. Sylvia, you cast Nature's Boon, and you feed. And just like the last day, when he's eating this blessed food, it does actually seem to invigorate him more. He has more colour in his skin. He's been slowly looking slightly better in the few days that he's been here. And for a moment you think there's the briefest recognition in his eyes when he's looking at you, Mina, but then it's gone. You do feel like, okay, well, he certainly seems to be doing a little bit better. And Sylvia, if you cast your spell on some more food, that they could feed him later, that the enchantment will last certainly a few hours.
It lasts until sundown.
Yeah, so like it'll, as I say, so his dinner later, it will still have the blessing on it. Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that, and I'm gonna also specify. And then I'm gonna say to Gwen as well. Could you perhaps, since you have that spell, if you could write maybe to Madame Gautier ahead of time, perhaps if she has not made such a push and she would have time.
Good idea. I'll give her some advance notice.
So we could possibly do that. I don't know. And I think you and we will pool our money and get this for Mina, because it needs to happen. We'll say nothing about anything. We'll just give it to her and have that be. She does not want to be mothered right now. So I think we just do what we need to get her well. And
okay, yeah, I will. I'll definitely. I'll take out my messenger pen a message.
Yeah, you cast Moon and Script. And now remember, you can only send, is it 9 words, I believe? 9
words.
I think it's 9. Just give me one.
I thought it was 10. Oh no, wait, it's 9.
I think it's 9. It's like
it's resolve.
It's
or is it magic?
Oh, there we go. Moon and Script. A number of words equal to the caster's level plus their intellect, resolve, or charm. So, Gwen, you have a resolve of 3. So, yeah, it is 9 words.
Yeah. Okay. I will say, my dear, please prepare heal all.
That's 7 words. That's, yeah.
7.
Yes. Sorry,
Gwyn.
eight words. Gwyn. Okay.
Yeah.
I
will also. That's my dear. Please prepare a heal all.
That was 8, I think.
7.
Was it? Okay.
My dear, please prepare a heal all. 7. I will say arriving tomorrow.
That's 9.
That's 9. Would she know it was from me? Is there anything in the spell that?
No.
Okay.
You might have to just cast it again.
Yeah, I'll cast it again and say, Gwyn, by the way, looking forward to seeing you. That's exactly 9.
Okay. Okay. And then she replies back to you with so she replies back to you with the spell as well.
The fucking paragraph.
Yeah.
Of course, my dear. I hope you are okay. That heals serious injuries. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Josephine.
That is ridiculous. That's nearly 20 words. She is powerful.
Yeah, that was 20 words. So yes. So yeah, it's like literally you're like doing these like tiny little sentences, and then
how
what you guys see is
embarrassing.
like several sentences appearing in front of Gwyn's face.
This just kind of makes Gwyn embarrassed and more power hungry.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so
Sylvia sees the look on Gwen's face, but she mistakes the power hungry for a different type of hungry. And it's kind of like, okay. We'll see her soon, don't worry.
Mina, you are brought down to Dr. Fernier, and he examines the wound, and he says, okay, this is a very serious break. It appears to be a partial fracture of the femur. So this is good in that it wasn't a complete fracture, because that could have caused a very serious injury that could have punctured through the flesh. It could have torn blood vessels. There is a major blood vessel that goes through the thigh. If that had been torn, you would have been dead within a minute. So you are very, very lucky, mademoiselle. I will set this with a sturdy splint. You must try to stay off it as much as you can. This will take approximately 12 weeks to heal.
Great.
So
thank you, Doctor, for your time.
Mina hobbles out using Albert as a splint, and you can see there's kind of like the way her skirt kind of bunches and moves, that clearly there is something strapped to her right thigh. So the doctor has clearly added a splint of some sort.
Okay. All right.
So you get a cab, you head to to Paris, planning now to get to Cambrai. It'll be a couple of hours to get there. You'll probably get there maybe about 1:30, 2 in the afternoon. And Aminata had left you. She'd wrote a letter and given it to Sylvia, telling her with her address, and said, "This is my address. If you present this to our maid, you can stay at my family residence."
Wonderful.
You'll need to bunk up, of course, like the last time. And
that's fine.
I don't necessarily know if I will be back. And she had also said, "Gwyn, don't forget to send a message to Justine."
I will do that with the messenger pen as soon as I read that, and just let Justine know.
Moonlit script spell, yeah.
Moonlit script, apologies. And let her know we are moving to Paris. Yes. To Josephine Gautier.
Yeah, so you probably just cast this spell a couple of times.
Okay, you were frozen for a second.
That's what
I was like,
called.
no!
Oops, sorry.
You actually need, because it's only 9 words, you'd need to cast this spell multiple times to let Justine know what's happening and to give her the address of Aminata's family residence and the likes. But you've got plenty of mana, and you're not storming a Fey Mount today. So okay, so we'll say you going all there, heading to Paris, hoping to
on the train. Yeah. Can I write a letter to my parents?
Of course you can. You can write a letter to your parents. The journey's a couple of hours, so you have plenty of time for all of that. Okay, and with the party planning on returning to Paris to meet up with this mysterious and beautiful artificer who is hiring them to do a potentially dangerous job, this is a perfect place to pause in our story. So we're going to take a quick break for 2 minutes. We're going to be back in 5 minutes, folks. We need to get drinks and beers and bio breaks and all the rest of that.
Oh man, yeah, Jesus Christ,
no.
broken fucking femur.
I just can't believe that. Like,
thing.
I feel terrible. I actually feel so bad about this. I mean,
You should, because
I mean, but look, you live by the dice, you die by the. If you'd rolled an at 20
They
and
fall
finished
as
it in
they
one
may.
shot, that would have been awesome too.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
it's a pretty
campaign
as major
campaign one, Braun broke her femur, and
Yeah.
it was just like oopsie daisy, because we were all really high level. It was like, oh whoops, let's just heal that. Keep moving, no big deal.
But this is as bad as that injury is. There are worse major critical injuries.
No, it's not that. It's just like, do you know what I mean?
know.
The whole thing is
I
just
know.
kind of
I know.
fucked, like, do you know what I mean?
know.
It was
I'm
supposed
sorry.
to be different, like,
I'm sorry. But anyway, we will be back in 5 minutes, folks, to continue in our story, okay? So, back in 5. Hello, folks. Hello, folks. Hope you are all well. When last we left our heroes, the party was on a train back to Paris, with the party tank suffering a severe injury after some drunken barroom brawls the night before. They are on their way back to Paris because they are going to take up a job. A beautiful and mysterious artificer that they met in their travels to Cambrai, and who was very much enamoured by Gwyn, had told them that she was looking for a group of able-bodied adventurers to explore a abandoned Fey Mount, which is just north of Paris, and that they have decided to take up the job offer. Okay. I hope my audio's improved now. I've moved a bit closer. I don't know why it keeps going on me. Move my mic closer again.
Well, gremlins are a 20th century thing, so...
Yes, they are. Okay. So, Mina, you spend the time on the train writing your letters. Aminata is not with you, but she had explained that she had to go, and also was very much full of apologies that she'd had a reply to her letter that they weren't able to send healers because there'd been an outbreak of some disease in some villages in one of the areas of the kingdom. But the party is on their way back to Paris. Okay, so when you get into the station in Paris, you were given the address to Gautier's Wonders, the artificer's shop of Madame Gautier. All right, and so when you jump in a cab, we'll say it's like 3 copper for that. Okay,
right.
And your train tickets were, I can't remember. I think they were like.
Sorry, I have to start jotting these down.
Mm-hmm.
Neil, the date?
The date is...
In game.
The date is Saturday, the 9th of March.
9th of March.
So, yes. The price of your train tickets... Apologies. I am just pulling it up now. Sorry, I didn't have this to hand. Second class, 10. So, it's 1 silver per 10 kilometers. It was 16 silver each for your train tickets. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 3 copper for the car. All right?
Yeah.
So, arriving into at the front of the shop, you can see it looks like it's a fairly large building. It's like part of a stretch of shops. This is a pretty like fancy, like high street ish kind of area. There's a it's a very large storefront. Okay, it's like a good maybe 35-40 meters across, and it's a tall building. It's 3 stories up. But there's other very, very fine looking buildings around. There is, to one side, you see there is a dressmaker's, and to the other side there is a tailor's, a men's suit tailor's, and there's like other very, very like nice shops. There's some very nice looking cafes. Like, this is a nice part of the city. Okay. So the shop has got like 2 large windows, and then some smaller windows. And walking in, you see it's a strange kind of space in that there's a number of like glass cabinets along the walls, along the sides. At the back, there's a desk, a tall desk, and you see a young woman, maybe in her early 20s, brunette, slim, pretty enough, and she's like working at a ledger. And then there's a couple of other counter surfaces with drawers underneath them to the sides, and there's all sorts of various oddities and knickknacks scattered all over the place. you know, you see a lot of things that would be fairly common. There is arcanograms. You see, you know, goblin globes. These are, you know, you guys have some goblin globes. They're like the little like glowing thingies that you know give off. You see some enchanted combs. There's a whole host of different things. Okay, and as you enter the shop, the little bell rings. The young woman at the counter sees you. Like, oh, bonjour.
Bonjour. Is Madame Gautier around today?
Yes, she is. May I ask who is inquiring? Do you?
It's Gwyn.
Gwyn, just Gwyn.
Yeah. We are acquaintances.
And she gives you a kind of an up and down, a very knowing up and down of.
Okay.
Yeah, I bet you're an acquaintance. Okay.
Sylvia is kind of. There's a definite smirk.
And so she runs in like a door behind her, and you hear her calling out, Madame Gautier, your acquaintance, Madame Gwyn, Mademoiselle Gwyn is here. And you hear some murmurings, and she comes out as she say, she will be with you all in one moment. If you would like to have a look around. And
thank you.
And a moment later, in walks the beautifully stunning Madame Gautier. Okay.
My dear, I'll go up to her, give her a kiss on the cheek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, she's just as striking as she was before. She's wearing this fabulous gown.
Sylvia is going to admire from afar, but not like
fabulous gown. It's kind of like a rich green with like this one looks like it's a rich green with like a royal blue kind of trim to it, and she's just stunning. Like, this woman is just stunning. And she gives you a kiss on the cheek. She says, "Oh, it's so wonderful to see you all." And she's kind of, you know, and then her eyes alight at me. He's like, "Oh, mon Dieu. Oh, is this why you needed?"
Yes, I'm sorry to impose upon you a little bit sooner than we planned, but as you can see, Mina here is injured, and if you did have a heal-all, I would happily purchase it from you for her. I think we need to address her injury ASAP.
Well, most certainly I can do this. If you're going to be doing a job for me, you cannot be exploring a Fey Mound with those kinds of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, yes, we will come to an arrangement regarding the price.
Thank you.
And she goes off to one of the sides and opens a drawer and takes out a bottle about this big, and it's in a lovely glass. Like, it's not clear, it's a lovely styled glass. The bottle is octagonal in shape, and it's this lovely rich green glass. And she says, there's 2 doses of it.
Thank you.
If you take half before you go to bed, and she's handing the bottle to you, but kind of talking to Mina as she says this. If you drink half of this before you go to bed, and when you are awakened in the morning, any injuries that you have will be fully healed.
Thank you.
The magic of this greatly enhances the natural healing of the body.
Gwen will turn to Mina and say, Mina, I know all you want is to feel pain right now, but I'm concerned for your well-being. If an infection sets in,
we can't help you if this happens. Leave you frozen.
Way to go, please. And I'll hand over the vial to Mina, and hopefully she will use it.
So it's this bottle. It's about like maybe 15 centimeters high. It's a lovely octagonal bottle in a lovely rich green glass. So
what time is it now?
Oh, it's like probably about like maybe 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's early-ish. So she says now
I will take that in the evening before I go to bed.
Take it in the evening, mademoiselle, before you go to bed, and when you wake up in the morning, you will be fully healed. Any injuries that you have will be fully recovered.
Madame Gautier, thank you so much for this. I assume after we can come to some sort of an arrangement regarding the payment.
So if you would like to come with me to the back room, we will discuss the matter of the employment that you will be doing for me. So
yes,
please come.
we are very eager to.
And she turns to the assistant. Julie, if you could make some tea, coffee.
Oh, some coffee, please. Thank you very much.
Okay, some coffee.
And coffee, please.
She says, the core madame, and she runs through the door after you all. So you're brought through a little corridor and into a nice little side space. It's kind of like, it's not an office space, but like there is a space for work, for desks and stuff, and it's quite nice. And there's a number of chairs there, enough for you all. She sits you all down, and she sits down as well. Okay, I'm not at the desk, at one of the other chairs. Okay, and she says, so there is a small forest. Okay, it is north of Paris. All right, it's not that far away. Okay, not that far at all.
What is the best way to get there? A cab?
You would need to. We can hire a carriage. Okay.
Okay.
I can arrange that today for you all, and just give me the address at which you are staying, and the carriage will be there in the morning. Okay. All right. It's it's approximately 30 kilometers north of here, so it's not a very long way away. Okay. It is called the Canal Forest. Okay. It's a small but still quite old forest, oak tree mostly, and in the center of it there is said to be a fairy mount. Now, from my research, from what I can tell, no fae have inhabited this site for well over 100 years. Okay, so as far as I can tell, it is an abandoned site. Okay.
Good, because we are certainly not in the business of invading fae's homes.
No. I mean, the fae are quite mysterious, as I'm sure you know. Some of the fae are somewhat nomadic. They will move from one site to the other throughout the seasons of the year. On certain high days and holy days, they will move and they will leave one place and then they will go to another place. But then,
but one can assume 100 years that would be considered abandoned. Yeah.
Well, and there are other times that fae just sometimes different fae clans will attack each other and fight each other, and one will drive another out and maybe kill the inhabitants or claim the site for themselves, expanding their territory. But it does happen that sometimes the fae will just abandon a site. No one knows why. No one knows where these fae go. Some have said they go back to the fae realm itself, or they go to another site. No one knows. But quite often when they abandon these sites, they do leave things behind. Quite often they leave behind treasures, and they will often leave behind certain enchanted items. And
that is what you're interested in, of course.
So that is what I am interested in, of course. Any treasure that you would find, as I said, you may keep 90% off, which could be quite substantial. I mean, quite often, this is not something that I do very often because it is hard to find an abandoned fae site, you know, but on a few occasions when I have done this, at least once a year, I find an appropriate site and I send a group of people to do this work for me. And when they do, they usually do quite well by it, you know. They can quite often come back with, you know, thousands of gold sometimes.
Madame Gauthier, I do have a question regarding its magical items, but potions we discover, that sort of thing. Are you interested in them also, or do we get to keep those?
I will be looking to keep all enchanted items myself.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that you included potions in this. Okay, okay, no, that's fine.
There are potions and tinctures that the fae make that are quite difficult for a human like me to make, and it is of great value of me to be able to study these objects so that I can add their construction to my repertoire.
Okay.
In fact, the heal all that I made for you now was something that was developed by human artificers studying fae magics.
Okay, no, I just wanted to clarify, but as you say, if we have the opportunity to acquire thousands of gold, like this can, you know, is worth many magical items. So
yes, quite. That is the thing. That is the situation. Now, just to be aware, when the fae leave these sites, they do sometimes leave behind traps and enchantments.
Oh, of course.
So there is always a risk.
Of course.
I do have another employee of mine who will be going on the journey with you. Quite an able-bodied young woman. She is from the Americas.
Oh.
And is quite proficient with firearms.
Ah, wonderful.
So
Okay.
you will meet her tomorrow. She will be in the carriage.
Excellent. What is her name?
Her name is Sophie.
Wonderful. Well, I'm sure she'll be an asset, a great asset.
So, is there any other items that you were hoping for or looking for that might be of interest to you now?
Out of character, we're too broke.
Yeah, I have stuff that I want.
I have a shopping list, but we're broke.
I know that Sylvia cannot afford a mana receptacle.
This is the thing, like, if you want...
She also probably can't afford a goblin purse right now. But if there's a goblin purse going, it needs to go to our bag lady before it goes to anybody else.
Dripping in medallions and animal bits and stuff.
If you want, you could certainly try to charm and persuade the artificer to maybe make a deal that you could get some items now and that the cost would be deducted from treasures that you might find in the Feymound.
Or just get Gwyn to pay the booty tax.
I'm gonna do it. I'm going to try and charm her and see if we can get some items up front.
So, what do you say to Madame Gauthier?
My dear, your offer is so generous. I'll have to think of creative ways to repay you. In the meantime, though, there are some artifacts that would, I think, greatly increase our chances of passing through the Feymound successfully, which of course benefits us both in the end. Could I be so bold as to ask for them up front? Like I said, it would give us a better chance of securing the assets that we all want.
Oh, well, I suppose it would depend on what you're looking for. Give me, so Gwyn, give me charm, and you do have persuasion, so it's a +3 to the roll. Let's see how you do. So actually,
I don't have an ability in seduction.
You do not have a seduction talent.
So that is 18. I rolled a 15. I'm adding 2 for charm, 1 for persuasion.
Does anybody want to try to assist in this?
Please. Gwyn needs a goblin purse.
Well, as you know, then...
I'm asking mechanically, does anybody want to try and assist with this?
Oh, God, I don't have any charm skills.
No, but you do have other skills and abilities and spells.
Oh, I do. I'm going to cast this. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Lesser Bless. I'm going to cast.
So that is a first level spell.
Yeah.
So are you going to try to do this surreptitiously?
I have restricted casting.
You do have restricted casting, and as a first, and what level of training have you gotten that one now? I can't remember.
It's 2 or 3. I am not sure. Let me check.
It's 2.
2.
It's +2 because you got it at 2nd level, and you haven't put anything into it.
Oh, I thought I had.
No,
I thought I already had it.
No,
I went to the game with it.
You got it at 2nd level. Okay. And you hadn't put anything into it. What you had done is you took the focus casting feat.
Oh fuck!
Which is a good feat, you know. When you use it, you can you can increase your spell might, you know.
No, I can drop my mana cost.
No, focus casting is that you increase your spell might. That's the feat that you took.
Okay.
So just give me 1 second. Because you have a 2nd level of training in that feat. So I'm pretty sure that means that you can cast 1st level spells without using your hands, or at intermediate you can cast a 1st level spell while bound and gagged. So so actually, yeah, you don't need to give me a roll for this because it's a 1st level spell. You can just mentally cast it. So,
yeah, I'm kind of like pretending to look at shit, and I'm just gonna cast it.
It's lesser bless, isn't it?
Yep,
Which is
so have a
level
+3.
spell. So
No, it's first.
Or first level spell. So you're giving Gwyn basically a bless that's worth up to 3 points that you can spend on a roll. So you can add an additional +3 to that roll.
That is 21.
Okay, so with that very good roll. See, restricted casting is a really cool skill in this game. I'm very proud of this mechanic that for our viewers and podcast listeners, it's a skill that allows casters to cast spells without giving away that they're casting a spell. Obviously, the more training you have in the skill, the higher the level spell you can cast. And Sylvia at intermediate level can cast.
It's mostly led to Gwen and Sylvia shit talking.
Yes, at beginner level, at beginner level you can cast cantrips without any gestures or words, so they can be shit talking to each other. And at intermediate level +2, you can cast a first level spell while bound or gagged, meaning you don't need to talk, you don't need to gesture. So that is a 21 total. So Madame Gaudi says, well, I think that's a fairly generous offer. We could look at how much treasure is found, and then from your 90%, we could maybe look at a deduction of costs plus.
Yes.
Plus, maybe you did say some additional payments. Yes, my dear?
Oh, I'm sure between us we can come to some arrangement.
Well, now, of course, what were the items that you were looking for? And you do realize, of course, that there is a certain limit to how many enchanted items a person can use. The only exception to that being gifts or enchanted items given as gifts by the Fae.
Yes.
The Fae can gift a legendary sword to a simple farmer and he can wield it. But I'm not Fae. So you are restricted by your own natural strengths and powers. Although, from what I remember, you had quite the spark, didn't you, my dear?
I try.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What? So the way this is going, so what items is the party hoping they might be able to get from Madame Gautier? What are you hoping she has in stock right now?
Goblin purse.
Okay, so wait.
Goblin rope.
A goblin purse, I believe, is a rare item. Yeah, so she does have a goblin purse. That would normally.
The goblin rope is common, though, isn't it?
Oh, there's a few common items as well.
So people need to write this stuff down. You can add it to your character sheets in your specialist equipment section. So goblin purse, that is a rare item. So that's 2 power points and costs 100 gold. Okay. Some goblin rope is common. So that's 0 power points and costs 5 gold. Was there anything else that you were looking for? Go in.
Yes. It's an unusual one, and I'm not sure if you'll have it, but I have heard of glasses, Fae glasses, that do help the wearer see in the dark.
Fairy glasses.
Yes, steampunk goggles. Oh,
yes.
I believe that's the one.
So there are 2 types of enchanted eyewear that you could get. There are fairy glasses, and then there are glasses of true sight. The fairy glasses are slightly less rare, and I do actually have a pair, and if you wear them, then you can see in the dark as if you were Fae touched, like your friend gesturing to Mina.
Yes, I think that would be really helpful.
That is an uncommon item, and they are 15 gold, and this is the very important thing to note. A pair of fairy glasses look like the glasses that were worn by Dracula in the Dracula movie.
Yes.
They are actually tinted lenses, Victorian tinted lenses.
You know I'm gonna get a pair.
Yes, so
I love that.
yeah.
I love that we are all showing our ages right now.
Yeah,
This
so
is
that is
amazing.
exactly it. So
Deadly.
we all remember that amazing scene, Gary Oldman,
Yep.
when he
Oh.
appears in London with the top hat and the glasses. That is what
Yes.
it look like.
I love
Yes,
it.
so
Okay.
100% aesthetic. Okay, because let's be
Oh,
honest.
I am here for this.
This is
Yeah.
this is important. This is
I
important,
love it.
Okay, so if anybody in chat wants to produce some fan art of Gwyn wearing a Gary Oldman Dracula style pair of enchanted Victorian sunglasses,
That's so much.
yeah, Crowley
That
and
is
Good
so much
Omens.
better
Yeah.
than the fucking steampunk style goggles that I had in my head.
No. These are like, but unlike, I think Crowley's and Good Omens are a red color. These are like a reflective black, you know. So yeah.
So good.
Yes, I know.
Oh,
We are
living.
all about the pseudo steampunk Victorian aesthetic. Okay. So yes, so that's going to be 15 gold, and that's one PowerPoint. Okay.
Yeah, so that was really my list. Goblin purse, fairy glasses, goblin rope.
Yes, of course.
And there's also other things, but I can buy that. They're not essential for the mission.
And yourself, my dear, she says to Sylvia.
Oh, well. Oh, I have a list of things that I have heard of, but no, I understand that I probably am not strong enough to build such things yet.
Items that you are looking for?
I have heard of an item that allows you to store mana, so I understand it's quite rare and expensive. So
I do not know.
I don't know if I would even be strong enough to wield such a thing.
I rolled a nat 20, Susie. That's my second nat 20 of the night, but this is a good nat 20, not a bad nat 20. I said, actually,
Jesus!
Now I think I do actually have a piece. And she goes rummaging through, and she pulls out this beautiful stone. It looks like a ruby, but it's like a dark blood red. And
I can't afford this.
It's set in like a silver filigree on a beautiful fine chain.
Oh my God.
These are quite expensive. This would.
Oh no, I understand.
This would cost 300 gold, though. To be honest, considering the treasures you would probably find in the Fey Mound, I could sell it to you on credit to be reimbursed by those treasures.
I'm gonna end up like fucking broke after this, aren't I? Oh.
Yeah, but you'll have a mana receptacle. It's 300 gold. It's very rare, so that's 3 power points. This is the only enchanted item you have, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you have 6 power points as a 6th level character. So you could use this.
Okay, but I hope that I find enough gold to pay for this.
I am, based on my experience of having other groups of adventurers explore mounds like this one, I would be shocked if you do not find sufficient treasures to pay for this.
Yeah, I probably won't have enough money to feed myself after, but...
Oh, please, you're a druid. You can grow some berries. She's not wrong.
She's not.
Was there any other items that you were hoping for, my dear?
Well, nothing that is essential to the mission, you know.
Well, maybe I have them regardless. We can see. Maybe they will be outside your budget. I do not know.
I assume after the mana receptacles that...
Well, you can always put them on your list for next time. You know, maybe after this you will go and explore one of the abandoned elven palaces.
Perhaps. I do wonder if you have any healing tinctures in stock.
It's not something that I tend to make a lot of. To be honest, the heal all I was surprised I even had in stock. I think I may have.
Can I just add? I have 2 healing tinctures on me right now. I haven't divvied out yet.
Yes. I may have one or 2. Man receptacle. I think I may have 2 basic healing tinctures. They would sell for 25 gold. So
I think we will take both.
okay,
If
so just keep a track of that for me, will you now,
Yeah.
Gwen? Okay.
5 each.
So maybe have it as a separate list so we can track how much will be deducted from your treasure. Okay. And what about yourself, my dear? She says to Mina. Is there any enchanted items you were hoping for?
No, not really. Unless you have something like I don't know, super sharp oil or something for my halberd.
Actually, I do have some enchanted oil, sharpening oil, and she goes and reaches for a bottle. This is a tin bottle, but it's a nice tin, and it's a clear. She says, "Yes, if you use this to sharpen your weapon, a coating of the oil will last a week. While it is sharpened, your blade will maintain a razor sharpness to it. Okay, and mechanically, it is an additional +1 to your damage. However,
Nice.
it allows you to attack and injure creatures that are impervious to attacks from non-magical weapons.
Oh,
So
nice.
while your halberd is not considered a magic halberd, it's not a magic halberd for the purpose of fey creatures and like things like ghosts and specters that are...
That was going to be my next
that
question,
are
Neil. If we're
immune-
fighting a
so-
spectre or
so
some
any,
shit.
any sort of fey or any magical or undead creature that is immune to attacks from mundane weapons, if you have sharpened a weapon, a bladed weapon, a saber, or in your case a halberd, with some sharpening oil, then your weapon is considered magical for the purpose of you being actually able to attack and inflict damage on these creatures.
And how many coats are in this
There's
bottle?
100 applications, and it's 5 gold. And
Cool, I'll take.
because this is a consumable item, it doesn't have the PowerPoint rating, that restriction that we have on magic item mechanics in the game.
Yep.
Okay, well, I think this has been a very productive day.
Thank you, my dear. Yes, I think this will make all the difference now when we go to the Fey Mound.
So, what is your plans for the rest of the day? I assume you have somewhere to stay.
We do. We are staying with Aminata's family. They were generous enough to put a roof over our heads.
Well, my dear, if you were looking for some company this evening.
I absolutely am. You read my mind.
One of my many talents.
I will stay and make sure that Mina is well.
You hear lesser telepathy. You hear in your head, make sure she takes the tincture. Like watch her take it.
Oh, in fairness, I don't think Mina's that stubborn that you would refuse healing. Especially, it's like
I don't know.
12 weeks shortened to 8 hours. You know.
Yeah, but it's also you can really hurt people if you take this.
Yes. So.
It's worth your while.
True. We can rampage in the Fey Mound.
Yes.
I am like all about putting that rage and grief to good fucking use.
So, let's talk some mechanics, okay? So, first of all, we have the goblin purse. So, small leather purse of plain design can be opened up to stretch up to 1 meter in width.
Oh,
all right.
I'm so happy I have one.
It is a pocket dimension. The interior size of the purse can hold up to 20 cubic meters or 5,000 kilograms. 5 metric ton. Okay? Any organic material placed inside the purse will spoil. Any living creatures placed inside the purse would suffocate and die quickly. If a person turns a goblin purse inside out, all of its contents are immediately emptied on the floor in front of the person holding the purse. If one were to attempt to place a goblin purse inside a goblin purse or cast a spell such as Fairy Fort, it would immediately destroy the object and create a shockwave of force which radiates from it for 30 meters, causing 3d8 bludgeoning. So don't put a goblin purse in a goblin purse. It's standard rules of TTRPGs. Okay?
Yep.
I cannot actually believe that you already have one. I'm so excited.
I'm
so excited.
I don't have all the accoutrements on me, but in game, I'm a flipping bag lady.
You are a bag lady.
So,
I mean, so here's the thing. I would love a goblin purse. You fucking need a goblin purse.
Like in game, I've like just shit dangling all over me.
You've got like literally, you've got like a big kind of like satchel, like big like canvas satchel, and about like 3 or 4 bags and pouches hanging from your belt, and then there was another, I think, smaller bag that you had as well. Like you were literally a bag lady.
But later levels, you're gonna have like preserved bits of animal hanging on.
I already have a rabbit foot and shit around my neck.
Exactly. So this is something actually for you mechanically. Your witch's amulets you can't stick in the goblin purse. They have to.
No. They can be on me. That's fair. Yeah, I wear them at all times.
Yeah, but at least her rope for fucking healing tether and all that shit can go in the goblin purse, right? Yeah, exactly. Come on.
So
and that the witch's ladder and all the other stuff.
So our other mechanics, now things like the witch's ladder, if you were to use that, it would be a minor action to withdraw that from your goblin purse, just to be aware.
Yeah.
And so in the same way, it's a minor action to draw a saber from a sheath.
Yeah, but you know you could have that out when you're in when we're in the Fey traveling around. You can have it in your bag. Like, it'd be great.
Our mana receptacle, you can.
Neil, I'm gonna just be honest. I actually because I told you that was on my that was my first thing I want to get. I actually genuinely I was like, look, it's fine. I know I'm not I did not expect this. I genuinely did not expect this.
Your mana receptacle can hold up to 30 mana points.
I know. I'm so excited.
So before you go to bed, Sylvia, you can channel 30 mana into that mana receptacle, and then in the morning that's regained as per usual with a long rest.
I might next level when I get remove curse, I might be able to free Piotr.
So you will now be up to 62 mana. I believe. Sorry,
I thought it was 30.
70 mana. Sorry, 70 mana.
70 mana.
Yeah.
I'll be able to free Piotr, maybe.
Wow.
I mean, if I get the spell, oh my god, I'm actually
at low levels, a mana receptacle is really, really powerful and super useful, and can be a big game changer in combat. When you get to the higher levels, though, you know, 3rd level spells cost 6 mana. 4th level spells cost 8 mana, and then 5th level, the highest level spells in the game cost 20 plus mana. So
I know, but that's like, oh hey, I've got an extra 5th level spell that I can just throw at you. Which for anybody playing the dragon game, that's a fucking game changer. It's like, oh, have an extra spell slot.
Yeah, it's basically the equivalent of having an extra 8th, potentially 9th level spell slot.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how you choose to spend it, you know what I mean? So it's a big deal. I'm just gonna say, I absolutely was not expecting this. I'm actually.
Well, you know,
how the fuck?
Let's just hope you all survive the Fey Mount so you can pay.
Gwen, you have magic boobies. That's all I'm gonna say.
I try.
So Sylvia, you go back to Aminata's parents' residence with Mina. You have a lovely meal. It's not crazy, but it's a really nice 3-course meal, prepared for you by the family cook and served by the family maid. Mina, do you take your dose of the heal-all potion? Yes? Yeah, I assumed you would. Mina is not a martyr. She might be she's a staunch Catholic, but she's not a martyr, you know?
Sylvia is just going to say, look, I am not going to claim to understand what you're going through, but channel all of that into the Fey Mount tomorrow, okay? That's just what Sylvia is going to say. She's not going to, I'm not going to do the whole hugging shit, because Jesus Christ.
No, you're instead of hugging and empathy, it's Palpatine's channel the hate, channel the anger.
No, it's not that. It's more, you know, I am not the person for nurturing and hugging you through this, but take what you are feeling and use it to get us through. It will make us stronger, and we may be able to heal your brother after.
Okay, right.
Is what Sylvia. That's my version of a fucking pep talk, and it's okay, sweetheart. come on, let's have some chocolate and hug.
So yeah, well that's and I don't know how Mina feels after the talk. But
yeah, I don't know how's Mina reacting to this. Like,
not really much. It's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, we'll do, and
yeah,
go to bed and drink and my thing and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Gwen,
Okay.
you spend the
Sylvia is gonna just ask her if she needs a hand getting to bed.
getting your shoes
because-
off would be the only thing I think that Mina would really
Yep.
need help with. Gwen,
And it's just gonna be cool, baby too.
So, Gwen, you have a lovely evening meal with Madame Gauthier, and afterwards, she in her residence, which is not, she doesn't live in the shop. She has
Okay,
her
where does she live?
She has her own townhouse that's not that far in this very nice, expensive, posh arrondissement of Paris. Don't chat. I haven't decided which arrondissement Madame Gautier's Shop of Wonders is in, but it's in one of the posh arrondissements. Okay, so you have a very nice meal at home, and then you go upstairs and she shows you a few more tricks and enchanted items that she has.
I love Paris.
And you have an amazing night. She does.
So long as you get a
long rest.
She does make sure that you will get at least 6 hours of sleep to be rested enough for the day, and tells you don't worry. She sent a message that the carriage will pick you up from her residence before picking up your friends the following day. So I think that we shall leave it there. A perfect place to pause in our story. Our party witch being shown some magical tricks. The party druid now being able to store a lot more power to help her heal and hurt, and the party tank's body healing itself so she can inflict some more pain, hopefully tomorrow. Okay? Thank you all for joining us. Quick reminder, if you do enjoy our game, you can find all of our stuff on our itch.io page, fay-earth.ich.io. Should have appeared in the chat. We're on social media. We're still on Twitter. Screw you, Musk. I am not calling it X. It is still Twitter. And if you have gotten an invite code, we are on Blue Sky, also at FayEarth. And don't forget that we also have a Patreon, and thank our patrons, especially our super fan Emma. You are wonderful. You help support us so much. If you join our Patreon, you get fun stat blocks for fake creatures every month that aren't in our early release core rulebook. Some magic items as well. And at the $5 tier, you get access to our fireside chats, where our players talk about all of their stuff that's going on with their characters, and they answer fun questions from our Patreons. But I think this is, as I said, a perfect place to finish tonight. And thank you all for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon. So, bye, everybody.
Bye.